Ciao ragazzi, in today's video myself and Bilal are going to react to Inter's match versus Sassuolo. Before getting into the video, be sure to let us know down in the comments below what you made of the match, and don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on push notifications so you never miss a video. This match really couldn't have started any better for us. We got a goal within the first few minutes, and after that Real Madrid result on Wednesday night, we really needed a reaction, and this one was an almost instant reaction. Lautaro done absolutely excellent in the build-up for this one, got a block which landed at Sanchez's feet. He then put it over the top. Lautaro got on the end of that, muscled off Kirikesh, and then put it on a plate for Sanchez, who really couldn't miss. And this was the start that we really needed, and the start was even better because a few minutes later we managed to double our lead. Arturo Vidal blasted the ball off of Kirikesh, and he managed to deflect it in past the Sassuolo keeper Consigli, and yeah, really couldn't complain of the way we started. As I said, we needed the quick reaction. We got that, and we played really well in the beginning. Something that was really evident to me was the fact that we finally had a balance in this team. All too often this season we've complained about the lack of a balance in the team, but the team, with a few tactical tweaks, most notably perhaps the deeper defensive line, allowed the team to just have so much more balance. And whilst we didn't control the midfield in this one, and not that it's anything really new, it's something we've struggled to do throughout this campaign, we decided to go for a counter-attacking style of play, and it really worked. The pace that we kind of countered that was really exciting at times, and that deeper defensive line worked really well as well, managed to nullify Sassuolo and kind of stop them getting too many chances in that half. So very happy with that kind of first half, showing that there were improvements that could have been made if I was to be really picky, but compared to the kind of performances that Inter have dished up lately, that this was a much improved first half showing from the boys.
In the second half, we were hoping to see Inter build up on a decent first half performance going into the half with a 2-0 lead. However, going back to the game at Mapei Stadium last year, where Inter went in halftime in that game with a 3-1 lead, quite comfortable up until that point. However, Sassuolo came storming back with the introduction of Boga and Juricic in the second half, ending that game with a 4-3 lead. So we knew the second half was going to be tricky. Sassuolo very capable of storming back in this match and scoring some quick goals. Boga and Juricic were both good in the first half as well. However, they were both unable to get past the defensive line of Bastoni, De Vrij and Skriniar. Skriniar specifically had a phenomenal match. Boga continuously able to get past Gagliardini and Vidal on his side, but unable to get past Skriniar consistently, which was really crucial for us in this match. And Berardi as well was forced out wide, playing from the right side, only able to cross in and not able to cut inside very effectively at all, not making him a factor. Isolated Raspadori in the center of the attack for Sassuolo, making it ineffective for them to create any clear-cut scoring opportunities. However, Sassuolo, to their credit, they dominated the possession, 60% possession overall, 65% in the first half, 92-93% pass accuracy. Really were able to move the ball around very effectively. However, for Inter playing effectively on the counter-attack, it was effective, ugly but effective, and in this case where the team is desperate for points, it was just what the doctor ordered. Inter adding a third goal in the second half, of all guys, Roberto Gagliardini scoring in the second half for Inter, finishing off a good counterattack opportunity. A clinical strike, I would say, too, by Gagliardini. You don't expect that from him much, but when you're only going to be as effective as your weakest link, and Gagliardini time again has proven to be that weakest link, and today he had a decent match, not too bad. There's a ton of gaps in his gameplay, and his weaknesses are very evident throughout, and they make Inter weaker going forward. However, against a Sassuolo side in this situation, Conte's tactics hid Gagliardini's weaknesses enough and allowed Inter to perform well and come away with the crucial 3 points at the end. A decent performance, ugly but effective win from Inter.
The top in this one for me is going to be wingback Matteo Darmian. Darmian is a player who came in and people weren't really expecting too much from him, but I was pleasantly surprised by how Darmian played and the kind of consistency that he's played with when called upon this season. Against Sassuolo, he was solid both in terms of like his defensive work and even when he was going forward. And he's maybe not a player that's all that flashy or a player that will typically catch the eye of those watching, but for me, he was really solid today, and I think he deserves credit for that. Obviously, I felt he contributes to the balance that we've kind of had, and it's certainly a good option to have alternative to Ashraf Hakimi, who is obviously a more attacking-minded wing back. So, yeah, props to Matteo Darmian for his performance in this match.
Picking a flop of the match in a game that Inter won 3-0 is a tough ask. However, if you evaluate the different phases of the game and what made Sassuolo's midfield so effective, you have to pick somebody from the midfield, and that weak link in this game was surprisingly Arturo Vidal. He just doesn't have the legs anymore that he once did. He's not as mobile as he was, and he's not able to close down as much, and that impacts his ability to win the ball back and be a disruptive force that he's been so good at in the earlier phases of his career. He was consistently unable to contain Juricic and Boga in Sassuolo midfield. They were able to get past him consistently, and in cases where Vidal was able to win the ball back, his pass accuracy to unlock a counter-attack opportunity was also lacking in some cases. So my flop of the match, unfortunately in this game, is Arturo Vidal.